It is finally time for the summer and Christmas rerun we were promised months ago. So let's talk a little bit about pool priority for all of these new characters, for all of these 6 banners, and in my opinion, which ones you need to get one, which ones are used for raids, so it's kind of situational if you want to pull a copy or not, and which ones you can completely skip or pull only if wife. Okay, this interrogation tier is kind of like an XD tier or a skip tier or just waifu tier. Okay, it's like you pull only if you like them. If not, you can completely ignore this. If I wanna put this like a blue because it's like the lowest possible tier, right? It's like, okay, you only pull this if you really care about it, nothing else. That said, before we start, as usual, hello there, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict. Today's topic, of course, the rerun. Let's talk a little bit about this, what's going on, and explain all of the characters in here. There are a couple that I don't even remember what they do. They are genuinely so bad, I don't remember what they do. So let's start with the first 2 characters here, okay? Rupee and N Miracle Fairy. These 2 characters are the easiest scheme of your life. Now, they are also characters that, visually speaking, look fantastic. The wings on Miracle Fairy and the effects look really cute, and then you have, of course, a great waifu like Rupee. But both of them are useless. We're gonna start with Miracle Fairy. She is a PvP character, one of the few characters in the game that can actually revive. It's, I believe right now, it's Miracle Fairy N, it's Rapunzel, and it's Mana. If I'm missing anyone else, let me know, but I think that's like the only 3 that can actually revive. And then when we talk about her kit, it's a 60-second B1. You might be thinking, okay, it's like Rapunzel. Yeah, sure. But Rapunzel skill 1 will heal on full charge all allies, while Miracle Fairy N, it's only healing supported allies. She's already quite limited. Her heal is also going to be lifesteal, which means some weapons will benefit from this, some not so much. And then her skill 2 is just depending on her current HP. It will increase the potency of HP restored. This is like a literal useless character. If you're looking for healers for your team, in terms of just, you know, basic healers that can help you while still being better overall at what they do. You have Rapunzel, you have Bunny Alice, you even have Marciana. You don't want to use those characters because they're kind of useless, but if you want a pure healer, those 3 are just better than anything Miracle Fairy N has to offer. As she also resurrects on burst, like I was saying, but again, there is barely situations where this is going to be good because this is also only once per battle. She cannot revive more than once per battle. So, a PvP unit. And then when we talk about Rupee, Winter Shopper, this is not even a PvP character, this is a completely useless character. Nice beauty mark right here on her thighs, but still not enough. She's a character that skill 1, when the last bullet hits the target, increases defense for all allies. And her skill 2 will also increase defense. And a little bit of burst gauge filling speed. That's it. Fantastic. Again, they are the first seasonal characters we got, and thankfully they've gotten better over time. But yeah, these 2 characters are really bad. Not only that, but Rupee will also taunt the whole screen every time she bursts with re-enter B1 and then heal herself a little bit. That healing, by the way, is not enough. It's life leech, lifesteal, whatever you wanna call it, on an assault rifle. On a defender character, B1 is shit. She will kill herself absolutely. So those 2 characters are characters you can skip. The 3rd character you can also skip, and I don't want to see any comments regarding her investment on my account, okay? It's going to be Summer Neon. It's going to be Summer Neon. We can put her here as well. You only pull for her if she's your waifu. When you select the character, the image gets kind of like stretched, right? I need to fix that. By the way, if you want to use this custom tier list and have a lot of really cool NIKKE tools, you should be using lootanwaifus.com. So, enough shilling for my own website. Let's talk a little bit about Summer Neon. Summer Neon was, in my opinion, the reason we get good seasonal characters nowadays. She was so bad that they buffed her, and even after the buff, she was still shit. This is one of the worst DPSs in the game, after her buff. That's crazy, that's crazy. So she was the reason, in my opinion, we started getting better seasonal characters, and Shifta was like, okay, we cannot make any more of these units. If they only get run like a banner once a year, and the rerun once a year, we better make them, you know, at least useful. So she is a pure elemental DPS, that does no damage. No reason to pull for her, no reason to build her. She's just a useless unit, sadly, because her looks are fantastic. Just like most of the seasonal characters. Then we can talk about the raid characters, and it's kind of like a copium. I'm gonna be honest, okay? I'm gonna add a new tier, and this new tier, honestly, is like rerun, right? We can put here this again, and then we can put this here like as copium. Because these three could be going back here, and then what you could be changing instead is just putting Mary on copium. Mary is, at the moment, a character that rather than raids is just copium, right? Like, you can pull for her, you might see her on like a team 5, but she's not a great unit. Her saving grace is that she actually increases elemental damage. So not only she heals, but she also increases attack, max HP, and elemental damage. So it's not a bad unit, right? It's like not an awful character. It's just that even if you fully invest into her, her numbers are not there. You can see her in raids, but it's more of a copium character at this point, rather than something you might actually see, right? So I'm gonna put her in there because, again, I don't think we're gonna be pulling for Mary, but she is an amazing waifu, right? So can't say much on that. The other character I want to be talking about, also situational, but actually useful in raids, is Helm Aquamarine. Helm Aquamarine is a really good B2. The problem is that you will only see her when you can run a full iron team. Right? In those situations, when the enemies are weak to iron, when they are electric cold, you can't run her because she is giving damage taken, she is giving extra damage in there, and she also has cooldown reduction, making your rotations faster. You need another CDR most of the time. She's not the only B2 used, but she can be depending on the team. For example, when we talk about iron weak content on the Miranda team, right, on the Miranda Treasure team, you can actually put Helm Aquamarine, and she will be solving basically a lot of the issues that this team has. If you were to put your Miranda, if you were to put your Helm Aquamarine in there as well, you now can run what we were talking about, right, which is the one-shot team, or the one-bullet mechanic team, depending who you are using, which would be Mihara, would be Rupee Red Hood, or if you have her build, Snow White, right? So on actual iron raids, you will see her always used, but that's like the only time you see her. That's what is kind of a mix between copium and raids, because it depends how much you're willing to invest. And then the one I actually believe you need to get a copy 100% is gonna be Summer Anis. Summer Anis is a character that I think it's obvious, right? But ever since her release, she never lost usage. Her usage has only gone up as time goes by. As time goes by, she has only gotten more usage. This is a character you can get and invest without any problems. She is used mostly for elemental raids and for electric teams, but even off element, you will see her on the Cindy team plenty of times. Either her or, of course, Christmas Maiden. Now, all of these characters, not only Summer Anis, but all of these characters, even if you pull, as you can see, get one, I would not recommend going for dupes. Considering the amount of banners NIKKE get, and I say this on every video, but it's the truth, do not go for more than a base copy of your characters. What are the reasons to go for multiple copies, Sefhi? Well, you care for raid rankings, and you want to be more competitive. That's the only reason. You might be thinking, oh, but what about the MLB background? In my opinion, not worth it, because the moment another character releases or a new event releases, you're going to be changing your background anyway. But that's just me. I would not recommend ever getting any more than one copy of any character unless you love them for the background or you're a competitive player. But it gets expensive really fast. And more so considering we're getting 6 banners now. But that is right now how I would be putting these characters. Again, we could say that maybe it's an in-between of raids and copium, right? And we could leave it like this, so get one, raids, and then kind of exist. But this is my pull priority for the summer rerun, summer/Christmas rerun. Do let me know if you guys agree, if you would recommend getting Mary or completely skip her. And as usual, we are live every single day. You guys have the links in the description down below. Good luck with your pull, the internets. Until the next one.